All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Me here, talking real music in real time for a few real people out there just like you and just like me. All right, here is Robert, John, and the Wreck, Shine a Light on Me, Brother. Superb album. This band has a new song out there, which is really good. It's not on this album, but you want to check it out anyway. It's called West Coast Eyes. And it's just fantastic. So, again, Robert, John, and the Wreck, you want to check them out. Also, don't forget to check about Modern Retro Radio, modernretrofm.com. They're playing music that nobody else is playing. They're a great internet radio station. They're good people with good values. So you should patronize a radio station with good values, good, decent American values. modernretrofm.com. So the headline here in this video is Another One Bites the Dust. And I'm referring to Rod Stewart because Rod Stewart has decided that he isn't going to be playing rock and roll anymore. He was on the BBC Breakfast. He says everything has to come to an end sooner or later. Singer Rod Stewart has told the BBC Breakfast he's giving up rock and roll as he prepares to go out on tour with Boy George. Well, that's a great way to wean yourself off of rock and roll. Get out there with Boy George, and all of your testosterone will disappear, and you'll want to sing, I don't know what you might want to sing, but in any event, Rod Stewart plans on returning to the Great American Songbook. He did really well with that stuff. And, in the old days, we used to say when an artist begins to cover other people's songs, that's probably an indication that they're running out of ideas. They've lost the creative songwriting mojo. And so, hey, I'm just going to do someone else's songs. And it happened a lot with rock artists that would cover like an old Motown song or an old soul record that either people missed the first time or maybe they did hear it the first time, but their take on it is supposed to be, so amazing that that people embrace it and love it more. I would say about 90 to 95% of cover songs aren't as good as the original. Some recent examples would include anything that Paul Stanley has recorded and that Bruce Springsteen soul album that he did. I just don't get it. I don't get it how guys with very little soul go out there and perform this music and think that, their audience is going to just love it. And in some cases, the devoted fans are dedicated and they think it's great. I think it's like cultural appropriation. I can't believe I'm saying this because, look, these songs, some of them are just too good. And it's like when people, they want to cover the Beatles or they want to cover Aretha Franklin or something. Don't do it. I mean, in some cases, maybe you can pull it off where you're not embarrassing. But, if you're doing it to think you're going to do these songs better, see, I would be like, no, I shouldn't touch this stuff. It's just too good. It stands on its own, and I'm going to just step away from it and pretend it's not there. Because if I pretend it's there and I think I can do a better job with it and I record it, it's most likely it's just going to be a little blip on the radar screen. People will say, oh, did you hear, Bruce Springsteen doing Night Shift by the Commodores? Yeah, I know. The video got like probably millions of views. I listened to it. I didn't get it. I didn't get it. I grew up listening to the original. And in many cases, the original is just far superior. That's the general rule. So Rod Stewart doing the Great American Songbook, Probably those original songs are going to be better. But hey, you know, he's getting to a certain age. His audience obviously is probably sort of gravitating away from the hard rock stuff and from, you know, just his earlier days. And so I kind of get where he's coming from. You know, he wants to do a swing album. And that's interesting. It's cool. I mean, in some cases, like when Brian Setzer from the Stray Cats, he went out and just did all of that great swing music. He brought an authenticity to it, though, because it really wasn't a big departure from the music he had made prior. It was like tweaking it a little bit. And, you know, with Rod Stewart, look, he's had a great career. He's had a great run. I'm not a huge fan of Rod Stewart. I respect all of the music he's made. He's said and done things recently that totally turned me off as far as his, you know, personality or the things he believes in. But you can't take away all of that great music that was made in the 70s. I'm a big fan of the Out of Order album, which came out in the late 80s and kind of signaled a return to form for Rod Stewart as he was hanging out with Andy Taylor and Michael Landau, and he had some pretty decent songs, and I think they sounded good on the radio back in those days. You don't hear anything off of that album anymore, which, like all of that rock radio stuff, and even a little bit of top 40 crossover, it doesn't have a home. And it's been memory hold and focus tested. So that's all really sad. So in any event, folks, another one kind of bites the dust, although he did leave the door open a little bit. But he did say that he doesn't want to be performing the song Hot Legs when he turns 80. And I would say you probably don't want to sing Do You Think I'm Sexy either. But he didn't rule that out. So there may be a swing version of that, which probably would come out pretty interesting. It would kind of sound weird and interesting. I'm not a big fan of that song. I'm just not. Tired of hearing that. And I'm thinking maybe Rod Stewart might be as well. Let's hope, right? Let's hope he's tired of the Rod Stewart disco period, which, again, compared to today's music, it's a work of art, but just not into it. All right. Robert John and the Wreck, Shine a Light on Me, Brother. Check it out. It's a great album. True American music. And yeah, those guys actually have some soul, some legitimate soul. And they have a brand new song out, and it's called West Coast Eyes. And it kind of is a nod to West Coast music, yacht rock, whatever you want to call it. Really great summertime songs. You need to check that out as well. And don't forget to check me out over on Patreon. I still need your help. We lose patrons. We pick a few up. Like I say, if we had 1/10 of the subscribers do like $1 a month, you know, I could pretty much say anything that I wanted to say on this platform and not worry about being, you know, shadow banned or throttled back. But it is a thing that's definitely happening. And it's not just me. It's happening to a lot of other YouTube channels that have been around for quite some time. So yeah, if you want to help me out, that's the best way we can fight this together. And I'll continue to put out some content for you on a daily basis. I'm trying for more interviews, so you want to look forward to those possibly. I think I've got one coming up next week that's going to be interesting. So you want to tune in for that. In the meantime, everybody, thanks a lot, and I will see you soon.